voters literally there in Michigan, but also across the nation, because the TV star is broadcasting the event live to her streaming and YouTube audience, and you can imagine Oprah has a lot of people interested. She'll be flanked by the state's Democratic governor, Whitmer. And while campaigns tap politicians as surrogates, they go to the floor of Congress and ask people to help, the Harris campaign clearly sees Oprah as larger than any member of Congress, a famous and respected validator who's literally one of Harris's most influential surrogates, as the Times put it. Oprah does not campaign on every big national political debate. She doesn't get involved in most local races. And even in presidential politics, she is selective. That is why her DNC appearance wasn't taken for granted as something that would automatically happen no matter who the candidate was. And Democrats saw her as a key part of building momentum when she first backed Obama over Clinton in the Democratic primaries.
It gave political theater a whole new meaning. Call it what you want. Oprah-Obama, the Double O, Oprah-Palooza. The queen of daytime talk seemed to have found a new royal calling.
I'm beginning to like this. I'm beginning to like this.
And so was Barack Obama.
You know you've got a good program when I'm the third best speaker.
It is the same question that our nation is asking. Are you the one? Are you the one? I'm here to tell you, Iowa, he is the one. He is the one. Barack Obama.
Oprah Winfrey is stumping for Barack Obama. It is the first time Winfrey has ever endorsed a presidential candidate.
Let me tell you how much Michelle and I love Oprah Winfrey. You realize her character and her soul is, this is a wonderful person. You want Oprah as vice president?
In more than 4,500 episodes of her show, her message was always, you can.
One of the biggest surprises of the night was Oprah as in Winfrey.
Oprah endorsed Kamala Harris. She spoke at the Democratic National Convention.
Values and character matter most of all. Decency and respect are on the ballot in 2024. Common sense tells you that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz can give us decency and respect. Let us choose common sense over nonsense. Let's all choose Kamala Harris.
A lot of energy there. Notice the themes: values, decency, common sense. Those aren't ideological appeals, certainly not partisan. And Oprah's audience famously spans geography, demographics, and certainly today's polarized style of politics. Her hit show was watched by stay-at-home parents and working parents and single people. She built a following. She used her platform also to push people to open up their minds, and she was open to reform. They even called it the Oprah effect, how her 40 million-plus weekly viewers would respond directly to her ideas or things she encouraged people to do. The show estimates, we checked, that they received over 20 million pieces of U.S. mail, physical mail, the way people used to write it, from fans over the show's run. And few TV shows try to advance reading. You're watching a TV show right now. We love reading around here, but we'll often tell you what to watch or tune in or keep it locked here for what's on later. But she used that show for reading. Her book club, now famous, launched bestsellers and community reading around the country. And that illustrates how her audience could act on her recommendations, which means an endorsement from that kind of person with that kind of active audience following still really matters in politics. Tonight's Oprah programming that I mentioned, they're going to broadcast the thing with Harris, could resonate with voters who spent their formative years watching Oprah from her rise in 1980s local TV in Chicago to the force she remains today.
Everybody loves Oprah.
You mean me?
She is also the host of a very successful television program in Chicago and is the first guest we've ever had on this program named Oprah. Please welcome Oprah Winfrey.
I know now that I am where I am because I always believed I could get here. Always believed it.
She may have believed it, but how did she get there? When she was 22, she moved to Baltimore and became an anchor woman on a local TV news show.
We've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before?
Julia Roberts told me that nobody does turkeys like Green Hour smoked turkey.
What's your religion, Liz Lemon?
I pretty much just do whatever Oprah tells me to.
Got that job himself. The White House called him. He didn't call the White House.
Everything you are and everything you have is because of that butler.
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my uncles. I had to fight my brothers. This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not.
Gee, Oprah, I really like that diamond bracelet.
Nice try. Speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have.
And that's just a slice of a kernel of what she's been doing and saying over these years. She is in our culture. That truth that she talks about matters. And while Oprah was not partisan, she also did not hide behind a kind of televised or corporate neutrality. As she built her reach and influence, she then used her powerful tools, what she's really good at, listening, connecting, emoting with people, to humanize and uplift people who are sometimes marginalized by American society. I mention that tonight because it is very relevant to what's happening today, tonight, tomorrow in America as we think about these debates and this dehumanization and this big choice between two very different candidates. Oprah explored hard topics which daytime and corporate media often ducked in that era. An era before cable TV and more political discussion, and certainly before the internet, at least opened up more lanes and possibilities for certain conversations. I say that by way of introduction because keep in mind what you're about to see at the time was viewed as even more radical than today.
See, I believe God created Ellen. I believe God did that. Right. And if Ellen says she's gay, I believe God created her gay. I believe God did that. Can we get this straight? What do you call yourself? Do you call yourself African American? I know you are. Your father's half black, quarter Chinese, quarter American Indian, mother's half Thai, quarter Chinese, and quarter white. So you are. That's why you are America's son. Yeah. You are America's son. Can you take us to the day that Jim came to you and said, I want to be a woman? Have you both always been staunch Republicans?
I thought so.
And so all of a sudden this year, what was it about Mr. Bush that changed your mind?
Oprah is not new to this. She's summoning all of that for this candidacy, which might also require some new thinking for some people around the country and amplifying the message that Harris has been hitting this week.
Well, first of all, let me just say it is good to be with the National Association of Black Journalists, and I thank you for the work you do and that your members do every day.
And there must be unity around the idea violence is never acceptable.
A $25,000 down payment assistance so they can just get their foot in the door. My plan is that no family, no working family should pay more than 7% of their income in child care. And I think most people in our country, regardless of their race, are starting to see through this nonsense and to say, you know what, let's turn the page on this.
Donald Trump and his extremist allies will keep trying to pull us backward.
It's Oprah night in America, and we have two of our political experts when we're back in 90 seconds.
When they want to squeeze up, they want a squeeze up.
Deliciously delectable delectables.
Squeeze up.
Stephen Davis, 12 Glenwood Drive.
What are you doing? Experian will shop your info to get you a great rate on car insurance, and they'll tell you if they find a better rate later on.
Experian.
Free at Experian.com/car.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You
to make it happen again.
Voltaren for long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
It's Michael's lowest prices of the season. Take up to 70% off thousands of items like fall floral, decor, and more. Score huge savings on beads and great deals on frames. Oh, and you'll love this. All yarn is on sale. Sign up to earn rewards while you save.
Chase really knows how to put the heart in your local community. See what I did there? Hey, Jackie. Evan, my guy. You helping him with savings, right? I wish I had somebody like Evan when I started. Somebody just got their first debit card. Ice cream on you? Ooh, tacos. I got you. Wait, hold on. Don't you owe me money?
What?
Your money is a part of your community, so your bank should be too, like Chase.
In more than 4,500 episodes of her show, her message was always, you can. You can do, and you can be, and you can grow, and it can be better. And she was living proof.
Oprah night on the campaign trail, and we're joined by Rutgers professor Brittany Cooper and the Nation's Joan Walsh, two of our longtime beat analysts, as we are here in the home stretch. Joan, we looked back at what Oprah represents because you could easily forget the sort of singular role she played for decades and why Obama, now the Harris campaign, value her so much.
Right. She really did introduce the country to new kinds of issues and introduced a kind of compassion on so many levels that I think is very important. And, you know, she had a very multiracial, she has had a very multiracial audience. And so this is exciting. Her speech was great. Barack Obama told the truth when he said he was the third best speaker that night. And, you know, I'm very excited. I will be on at 8. You know, I'm excited to see the additive properties of all of these groups, because it's not just Oprah and the vice president. They're trying to bring in win with black women, win with black men, white women answer the call, white dudes for Harris, comics for Harris, deadheads for Harris. There's something really, you know, we talk about joy in terms of her pitch. There's something kind of joyous about people showing up in all of their different guises, because you could be, you know, win with black women and a deadhead. I'm just going to go there. That could happen, right? You know, and so people can do multiple things. You could be, you know, black men for Harris and also chefs for Harris. And I've seen, you know, in the beginning, I was like obsessed with this whole diversifying, you know, thing on Zoom. And I would just tune in because it was fun. Yeah. And so I'm really excited to see, you know, who's there tonight and what the pitch is.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think a couple of things are going on. So the Trump campaign has been trying to bait Harris around her racial identity, and so she's, you know, been very delicate about how she's handled it. But now she's bringing all the black women heavy hitters to the party. And one of the things that Oprah does is exactly the thing Joan talked about, which is to remind the American public that they've actually been trusting a black woman to lead them, to guide them for many decades at this point. Oprah was the conscience of the country for so many different groups of people. I grew up in a house watching Oprah. My mother loved Oprah. And so Oprah, then the proximity to Oprah reminds folks that you can trust black women to actually lead.